To achieve 100% completion in Shadow Fight 2, we need to finish the entire story mode, defeat all 6 demons along with their bodyguards, complete every single tournament and challenge, hit the max level 52, survive the absolutely insane survival mode grind, take down Titan, and if that wasn't enough, we still have to defeat Mei in Eclipse mode, which is arguably the hardest fight in the entire game. This whole journey took almost 200 hours of straight up suffering. So if you're into this kind of content, be sure to hype the video up, smash that like button, and subscribe to the channel. We start the game with Sensei telling us we're back, but this time we lost our body and we're just a shadow. We head into the dojo with basic attacks to learn how to fight, smack the punching bag around a bit, and jump into our first fight against Kenji. Round 1 starts, and as you can see, I'm unarmed, literally throwing hands and feet. Don't worry, we're gonna get way stronger later with some incredible weapons, but for now, it's just raw street fighting. I land a solid kick to his face to wake him up, and that's round 1 in the bag. These early fights are easy, but trust me, this game gets absolutely brutal later on. Some fights feel straight up impossible. Sensei shows us some weapons we can buy. 50 coins later, we got these knives. He suggests we challenge Lynx, one of the demons, but first, we gotta go through his bodyguards. The first one is Shin. Looking at his stance, the guy looks like a total pushover, and yeah, he is. Now that I have knives, I'm dealing way more damage than just punching. But I gotta be careful because if I get greedy, he can chunk my health bar too. He's got these kunais, acting like a ninja, so if I slip up, I'm dead. You can see the style meter going up. Brutal. It works like this. Use different attacks, don't spam the same move, and the bar fills up until you hit fantastic. For now, brutal is fine, but later on, for an achievement, I'll need to max that out. We finish the fight, get some coins, and Lynx introduces himself as the leader of the Assassin Order. This kicks off Act 1, Hero Reborn. Then we meet Mei. She claims she's an expert in weapons and armor, so obviously we bring her along. The next bodyguard is already marked as impossible difficulty, so we're skipping him for now. Instead, we head to the tournament. 24 enemies, ending with a champion. First up is Monk. Look at his face. He knocks me down immediately, but I get back up and show him who's boss, absolutely melting his health bar with a brutal combo. Round 2 was a cakewalk. I just spammed the knives and deleted him. Mei pops up to tell us we did great. We hit level 2, unlocking this sweep kick, which is excellent for combos, and the shop opens up. Unfortunately, I'm broke. The next enemy is this woman who looks like she's licking her sword. I mean, literally, okay? Don't go thinking weird stuff. I open with a kick combo, taking half her HP, but she claps back hard. I almost died here. It was sweaty, but I managed to clutch the win. Round 2 was much cleaner. Basically, a perfect run. Then Mei shows up with that cute face asking us to rate the game, but I never rate games because, honestly, I'm way too lazy to write reviews, so let's move on. Here, the game offered me this starter pack with some basic items just to get going, you know? Since it was cheap, around 56 cents, and wasn't any OP item, I decided to buy it to give us a boost. But what really made me buy this pack was that it removes ads. So I bought it, got some gems, some coins, and a new weapon. We equip our new stuff, and then this kid shows up, literally called Kid, and he says our fighting style is unlike anything he's ever seen, and begs to be our apprentice. So after accepting, now we can train with him. It's good for learning some different moves. Moving on to our next tournament fight, we got this enemy, this jester chick. I started off strong, landed a bunch of hits on her, took almost all her health, but out of nowhere, this girl started comboing me like crazy and almost killed me. Look at the health I was left with. Killing her with that tiny sliver of health, we get our first achievement, which is this close call one, for finishing a round with critical health. In the second round, there was simply no way. I ended up dying from all the hits she gave me. She comboed me to death and I lost. Third round though, my friend, check out this hit I landed. I took practically all her health. That was one nasty crit. Here, as you can see, the Play Games achievement pops up. Going to our next opponent, we have this iron guy who comes in with just punches and kicks. No weapon at all. This guy thinks he's Bruce Lee, but if he thought he was gonna beat me easily, he's dead wrong. Because I'm landing tons of hits on him combining with kicks, because you can't forget to use kicks. I know that when we start getting weapons, we forget and start using only punches, only the weapon attacks, right? So combining my weapon attacks with kicks, I managed to kill him even though I was hanging on by a thread and almost dying. The second round was simply easy. Killed him smooth, landing tons of hits while he barely touched my health, so it was a pretty easy fight. We unlock a new function in the game, which is duels, where we can farm coins, but they're a bit different. In these duels, we have random equipment. Any weapon can show up. Besides that, we can only do these duels every 4 hours. They're gonna be good for farming money throughout the game. So we start our duel where we're facing this ninja with this gnarly sword, so we gotta be careful. Lucky for us, we got these nunchucks, which are absolutely fantastic and deal crazy damage. Combining hits with kicks, we got through the first round pretty smooth, but in the second, there was no way. I simply got stabbed to death, sliced up, and ended up dying. He was pissed at me and killed me. But we still have the third round where I showed him what's good for what ails you. I simply ended his life and completely annihilated him, winning our first duel like that. If we want to do it again, it's only in 4 hours. So let's continue our grind in the tournament where, in the next fight, we face this enemy again. I simply land a perfect. Yeah, every time you kill the enemy without taking any damage, you get a perfect. That crit I landed on her was absolutely disgusting. There was no way. Her health simply melted. In the second round, I also ended her life easy. Landed tons of combos with kicks and punches and beatdowns, finishing her off. Like that, we unlock one more achievement, which is this: Die Hard Fighter. This achievement was for winning a fight on hard difficulty, which, being honest, wasn't that hard. It was pretty easy. Anyway, moving on, we go to level 3, which means we can learn new skills. I got this snake one, which is cool, because it gives me a 40% chance in the first 3 seconds of a round. After that, I also collect some gems, because every time we complete an achievement, we can collect 1 gem per achievement. Checking out the shop, I saw that I can watch some ads to get free gems, so obviously I watched a bunch of ads, did some gem farming. Let's keep going in the tournament where we're facing this crazy guy. He's pissed, so let's see if he is that strong. He hits me with the first kick. He starts taking a lot of my health, tons of hits. This start I was bad, took too much damage and barely hit him at all. At the end, he still lands this crit on me, taking away all my chances of winning this round. There was no way. In the next round, I also got beat up bad and ended up losing. Yeah, I died. But at least with that, we unlock an achievement for losing for the first time. Sometimes, even in defeat, there's something good. To make things a touch easier, I went to the shop and bought this armor that made us a touch stronger. After going back to the map, as you can see, the difficulty dropped to easy level. So sometimes just one piece of armor already helps a lot to win a fight. With that, I got my revenge, completely destroying him. Mei shows up informing us there's a more efficient way to get coins, which is through survival mode. She also tells us that we can upgrade our armor, so I don't waste any time and start upgrading all my armor and my weapon. The only sad part is when you have to wait 2 minutes to finish the whole upgrade. Here, a sad thing happens that I didn't know about the game. We have an energy system. Yeah, which means I can't play the game infinitely whenever I want, but they give you the option to buy more. Obviously, they made this system to make you spend money on the game. I don't have that time since I need to finish the video and post it for you guys, so I ended up buying that pack. Yeah, spent some serious cash. Challenging our next enemy in the tournament, we have this woman there. I'm already giving her a beatdown, land that kick to the face, ending all her chances of winning and taking all her health. But I think she got a touch pissed at that kick I gave to her face because she ended up disarming me, taking my weapons and throwing them on the ground. I was left with just punches and kicks. Even without weapons, just punching, I managed to end her life and killed her. With that, we got one more achievement, which is that one for winning a match after getting shocked. I don't know why they call it shock, but it's basically that I won a match after being disarmed. In the second round, it was also easy because I managed to land this impressive crit and finished her off. After doing some upgrades on our weapon and armor, I decide to go to survival mode to test it out. It basically works like you probably already understood. It's a survival mode, so I have to survive. Finishing this round with a headshot, we get one more achievement. The enemies here are pretty easy at the start. I got some perfects, but as you advance and reach the later rounds, it gets harder. Another thing about this mode is that you have the same health during all rounds. Yeah, if you win a round and had half health, you're gonna stay with that half health until you finish all rounds, which makes things a touch harder. In the middle of this, while I was landing tons of combos and killing guys, I ended up landing a 5-hit combo, which unlocked one more achievement. Unfortunately, I ended up dying right after. Since the game is generous, it lets us revive by watching some ads, but in the end, I died again. Yeah, might as well not have revived and not watched any ads at all. What I did was useless. I'm so bad. Going to our next opponent, we have this vulture. After landing the first hit, we get an achievement for landing landing the first hit in 20 rounds. I already land a punch to the face with an absurd crit. As if that wasn't enough, in the second round, I land another crit and practically take all his health. This guy here was easy, for real. Continuing in the next tournament fights, we have some more enemies who start repeating, right? Because there's no way the devs can make a unique enemy for every match. Anyway, killing these next two that are repeats, we finally reach the first impossible difficulty of the game. As you can see, everything turns purple with that full bar. These fights here are hard to get through. I'm not stupid or anything, so I'm already gonna do those upgrades on our armor to make things easier, right? Because otherwise, it's too hard. Like that, I challenged the next bodyguard of Boss Link's, which is this guy with a club in his hand. The guy simply took a clubbing from me. It was tons of crits with lots of perfects. Finishing both rounds like that easily, we get one more achievement, which is this Blitz one, for winning 5 rounds in less than 10 seconds. With that, we level up to level 4 and get introduced to a new game mode, which is this multiplayer mode, the Raids. In it, we can join with some friends and face some bosses in the underworld. The first boss we face in this place is this volcano guy. The game forces us to buy this thing here for 5 gems. I didn't even want to buy this, but they keep forcing me to buy it to show how it works. So I buy it and start facing this boss. This creature here is simply strong with 15 health bars, as you can see up there, which means it's going to take a long time to kill him. There'll be several people hitting at the same time until we can end all his health. The creature simply killed me quickly. I had no chance at all because I'm too weak. I barely did any damage to him. Every time we die, we have to wait a while before facing him again. As you can see, it's like 30 seconds. We keep repeating this until we manage to end all his health. After ending all his health and finishing, we get some rewards. As you can see, there are some cool bosses for us to face. Right now, there's no way, because we're weak and don't even have the level needed to face them. Going back to our story mode, they offer me this ninja sword with a discount, 40% off, which is 19 gems. I ended up buying it. In my head, it was worth it. Seeing it later, it wasn't worth buying this piece of junk, but I bought it, so let's move on. At least it's pretty neat. As you can see, it deals good damage. If I wasn't such an idiot and a beast who can't land any hits on the guy or the girl, I need to go through rigorous training on how to use a sword. After losing to this woman in a humiliating way, I decide to go back to the shop to do some more upgrades on our sword. With our sword stronger, I land this crit on this fool and end her life getting a perfect. While I was doing that grind in tournament mode, winning all the fights, this guy shows up wanting to start trouble. Sensei tells us to end his existence, tells him to get the heck out of here. Facing him, I ended up slipping up and losing the match. Sensei must be pissed at me. At least the game gave me a chance to try again. On my second attempt, I managed to end his existence and kill the guy. Like that, we win these items and 15 more gems. This was terrific, totally worth killing him for the 15 gems. Right after that, this duo shows up wanting to attack us again. These guys don't give me a minute of peace. I just want to do my story. For the love of God. They were strong. I tried several times and couldn't kill these fools. The guys simply dealt too much damage to me. I was too weak. Until I stopped and said, no, there's no way. If I keep going like this, I won't be able to face them. I need to level up. That's what I did. I decided to play story mode, pass some stages, did a bit of the tournament, the challenges. Even going back there with a new weapon, it was simply impossible. They were too strong. At least in this process, I got some achievements. First one for getting 5 perfect rounds. Reaching aggressive mode, which is pretty hard. You have to land lots of different hits. It was in this process of trying to kill these fools from this duo, this jerk guy there, but okay. 1 for winning a fight only with kicks. 1 for finishing 5 rounds with critical health level. Those moments when I'm 1 fart away from dying. After this offer appeared for me, for this powerful weapon, I decided to buy it. It was actually pretty cheap, at that low price of about $2. It helped a ton. With this weapon, I could face them much more easily. After trying for a while, I managed to kill both of them and win these rewards of 20 gems, plus these raid mode items. I'm telling you, the best part of this weapon is this small bomb. He keeps taking damage from this bomb the whole time. It deals crazy damage. Even being on insane difficulty, I managed to win, getting the achievement. My friend After that, it was just happiness. Besides insane difficulty, I also did it on impossible difficulty. Yeah, the first time I managed to do it on impossible difficulty, getting that amazing achievement. Besides that one, also got an achievement for doing a 7-hit combo. The last fight of the tournament we did was against this masked demon. He had no chance at all. We simply massacred the guy. Right after, I went to face the last bodyguard of Boss Lynx, which is this Dende guy. He just takes this stab to the stomach and falls to the ground, dead as a doornail, giving us the achievement for killing all of Boss Lynx's bodyguards. The time has come for us to face Lynx, our first boss of the game, who is this guy with these wicked claws. You can already tell the music changes. I land that sweet spin of the sword along with that small bomb and simply kill him. Yeah, a perfect on the boss. First try, huh? I was already almost landing my second perfect on him when he throws this kunai, just to break my combo. He's the first enemy that goes invisible, but it was pretty smooth. I just kept clicking until I hit him. In the third round, here was another perfect. There was no way. Lynx couldn't handle our weapon, couldn't tank it. Like that, we get an achievement for killing a demon without losing any round, and another for killing our first boss, Lynx. With that, we move on to Path 2, Secret Path, where we're gonna have to face Hermit, the magic guy. First, I was doing these easier fights, the challenges, the tournaments, which are pretty simple, so I was already a touch strong, so I already went straight to the next bodyguard, which is this buffalo. I managed to land tons of combos on him, taking all his health. To finish, I used this long-range weapon, these shurikens. By the way, it's something you didn't see because I lost the recording, but from this point on, we have these long-range weapons. They're good, especially to finish off, just like you saw there. In round 2, he tries to kill me, giving me these hits, but I simply start trading punches to his face. Like that, I finish by taking all his health. Continuing to the next tournament fight, we face this demon with this mask. Can't deny it, his design is striking, but not just the design, he's strong. He almost killed me, took almost all my health. I managed to finish with this long-range weapon, which is effective. This thing is good. We can win way easier, especially when we're far away like this and he's got low health. Just throw a shuriken and end the guy's life. In the second round, we managed to land some nice combos, knocked him to the ground. The guy was left with a sliver of health. He even tried to win the match by dealing some damage and trying to hit me, but I managed to finish him off pretty easily. I buy our next weapon, which is this staff that's at level 9, already gonna help us deal much better damage. Then, I went to check out one of the boss's bodyguards. It was on impossible difficulty. I thought, let's test it, right? Maybe it'll work. The guy simply slapped me. One slap and I died. I'm gonna have to farm more time to be able to face him. Let's go to our next challenge. In this fight, the restriction is that we can't jump. Pretty easy. It's one of the simplest restrictions of all. We can use our weapons normally, so it's just beat the crap out of this guy, leave him all dazed, and end his life. With this giant staff, we can kill this guy easy. Finishing this fight, we get our reward. The next one, unfortunately, we can only do with level 9 armor. Since I'm still broke, screwed, with no money, I'm gonna have to play another mode to be able to farm some coins. I go to tournament mode and face this guy. I was almost beating him, wailing on him, but he ended up catching me and throwing me to the ground, this jerk. Ended my life and won the first round. I didn't let it go cheap though. In the next rounds, I ended him, beat the crap out of the guy. In the third round, I land the first hit. We unlock one more achievement, Snakebite, for getting the first hit in 100 rounds. Unfortunately, I ended up losing this crappy fight because he ended up killing me. I'll still have my revenge though. I'll come back here and end this guy's existence. I do that quick upgrade on my weapon. Checking out the armor, we have this one here that's great. This one is so good. Too bad it costs gems. Unfortunately, I don't have any because I'm broke. So I just do another upgrade on our weapon and head to the next fight. Simply all the fights are on impossible difficulty. Yeah, on impossible difficulty. This is where the rubber meets the road. After completing the upgrade on our weapon, we managed to lower the difficulty to insane. It's not easy, but at least it's not impossible, right? Let's be real. I can get my revenge on this fool. He ended up winning one round, but in the end I came out victorious, so it's all good. Since all the fights were on impossible difficulty, I was forced to do that farming in survival mode. This is gonna happen a lot during the game. I'm gonna have to do that heavy farming in survival, spending several hours in this crappy mode, killing lots of enemies repeatedly until I get a good amount of coins and level up our weapons and armor. While I was was doing this, I got one more achievement, this time for losing 50 times. Yes. With the farmed coins, I finally managed to buy this level 9 armor for almost 8,000 coins. We get back to progressing in challenge mode. This fight here has this guy with his eyes blindfolded, who looks like that Daredevil guy, but in the end, he's pretty trash. I managed to land tons of crits on him, dealt tons of damage, even got an achievement for winning 20 rounds in less than 10 seconds. The next challenge we're gonna do, we can only use kicks. Yeah, we don't have weapons or shurikens, nothing, only our feet to kick with. These challenges are the most annoying. I hate doing this because I'm bad at kicking. I can't combo properly while kicking. I need to grab some weapon to be able to kill the guys. I already lose the first round to this trashy woman. This fool kills me. The second round was the same thing. I took another beating from her. Every time I tried to give her a kick, she'd hit me in the face or throw these crappy shurikens at me. I don't even know what that crap is. Gave me these stabs and I couldn't hit the lady. She even got aggressive fighting style, like that I lost 2 rounds to 0. God damn, I got owned by a woman. What I did was upgrade our helmet, make it a touch stronger to protect our head. While it's upgrading, I went after our next enemy in the tournament, this guy who looks like the Avatar. Here it's a stick against stick fight because we're both with giant staffs. Well, in the first round, I ended up getting wrecked by him. Took a smack to the face. If you thought the second round was going to be different, you're wrong, because it was another smack to the face that I took. They are too strong and I'm too weak. I don't have money to level up anything. Everything's on impossible mode. I don't know what to do. I didn't give up though. Tried again to fight against this fool to see if I can kill him. In the first round, I did well. Managed to land tons of beatdowns on him and won. At least one round. In the second, he gave me the Supreme Staff combo and killed me. But we still have the third round. Let's see how this fight turns out. Right off the bat, I managed to disarm him and got an achievement for superiority by disarming 10 enemies. Even with him disarmed, only punching, the creature turned into a demon and started giving me tons of hits and killed me. I don't understand. It seems like he's stronger without weapons than with weapons. It's rough. For real. At least these defeats give me achievements as compensation. After getting beat up a lot by this fool and losing a lot, I gave up and went to try doing some challenges. This one against this woman, which is kicks only. With a lot of struggle, I managed to finish this woman off. Like that, I also unlocked an achievement for winning 3 matches while disarmed, only punching or kicking. In the next challenge, we have this Avatar guy again. This time the challenge is, the floor is lava. We can't keep our feet on the ground for more than 7 seconds or we'll lose immediately. This is something that makes me mad because I keep forgetting about this timer and end up dying. If you pay attention though, it's actually easy. In this fight here, at least this big guy took a beating from me. I managed to get my revenge, even though it wasn't the same one as before, being in a different challenge, a different fight. I managed to beat him here. Without wasting time, I already go to the next fight in the challenges. This time we have this demon again. Here I managed to apply this sequence of beatdowns to his face, getting a perfect. In the second round, I almost got another perfect, but unfortunately after being almost dead, he started attacking me. Still disarmed me at the end, this fool. In the third round, I didn't forgive, beat the crap out of him and won the round. Again, it's on impossible difficulty. I can't believe I'm gonna have to farm more in this crap. Doing duels to be able to farm some coins, this time we have to fight without any weapons, only punching and kicking. I can't take it anymore doing these fights without weapons. I just want some OP weapon to be able to play with. We're facing this ninja who's got these knives that are OP, while I have to stay on punches. Even so, even at a disadvantage, I managed to land hits on him and throw him to the ground and win the first round. In the second, I also managed to combo tons of sweet combos. For real, the guys must be thinking I'm Bruce Lee himself. After some combos, I finally kill him, even though I had low health and almost lost at the end. But anyway, I go to the shop and do the last upgrade on our weapon, leaving it fully maxed out. Also upgrade our armor, which, let's be honest, this thing is ugly. Look at this. It was supposed to be yellow, but it looks like crap. Finally, I go back to this staff fool. I'm way stronger this time. The guy still manages to win the first round though. He deserves some smacks to the face to learn his lesson. In the second round, I managed to land some powerful hits, managed to land some combos and win. It's tied, 1-1. In the third, I'm about to win and finish him once and for all. I land this headshot and get one more achievement for finishing 50 rounds with a headshot. With that, we level up to level 10 where we can pick up one more skill. I grab this Avenge one. It can give a crit hit of 170%, which can help us a lot during fights. Like that I go to face the next bodyguard of the boss, which is this mantis. Despite starting off taking lots of hits, taking some damage, and losing health, right after I started landing tons of effective combos and literally ended his life. In the second, it was a touch harder. It was more tense. Look at this. I was left with a sliver of health, but still I persisted and finished him. Managed to land a hit, winning 2 rounds to 0. Besides that, I do my first enchantment. We have lots of types, from a bleed to a stun. They want me to wait an hour and 20 minutes to complete the enchantment. This is crazy, but no way I'm waiting for that. So I was smart and grabbed these free gems by watching ads, right? And completed it for 5 gems. The enchantment I managed to get was this stun one. That paralyzes the enemy for 5 seconds. I'm gonna be honest, I was a touch disappointed with this crap. I wanted to get the bleed enchantment, which for me is one of the best in the game, but we're gonna have to settle for this crap. I kept grinding and completing the challenges and doing these crappy fights. We faced this guy who looks like Daredevil. After some time to take a break, take a pause from this boring grind and these tournament fights, I decided to test out the raid mode again, where we can face these underworld bosses. I faced this Volcanus guy, which is the weakest of all, the most trash one. It's the only one I can kill because I'm too weak. I even tried to defeat this other one, which is this megalith one. The creature is strong. There's no way to depend on your team, right? If you don't do your job, it's hard to kill him, unless the guy is broken and uses tons of items to kill the boss. You gotta have a good team. Since I'm weak, I gave up and stopped right there. Going back to our grind, we have this new challenge, this ring out one, which is annoying. Basically, if we stay outside the ring, we lose automatically. This is annoying because sometimes the enemy pushes you and ends up throwing you out, or sometimes you simply apply a move that moves your body a lot and you end up falling out. It's literally one of the most annoying challenges in the game. Plus, when the enemy is still strong, then it's rough. After many attempts, it was many. I tried this crap a lot, lost a lot. I finally got a perfect round killing him without taking any hit. Like that, also unlocking one more achievement for getting 20 perfects. In the second round, I also did well, landed tons of hits on him, finishing this challenge along with the achievement. After some fights, we get to this challenge where there's no health bar.
To win, you have to score points. Basically, each hit is a point, so whoever lands more hits wins the match. This one, for me, is one of the easiest challenges of all. I think this scoring thing is pretty nice. Managed to win 2-0 after time ran out. I continued in this absurd grind, going through several fights in the tournament and challenge mode. There came a time when there simply was no way. All the fights were on impossible difficulty, and I had no coins to be able to buy anything. I'd have to keep farming for a long time in survival mode. Out of nowhere, this good offer appeared for me, where I could buy this armor pack with this sweet weapon. Even though it's a bit silly with that small heart there, I thought it was pretty charming. It helped me a lot because it comes 2 levels above what you currently are. It already comes with tons of great enchantments, like this one that comes with this poisoning. The best part is this weapon. Check it out. Every time we throw them, they come back to us like boomerangs. This deals crazy damage. Broken. This way, I kept going, reaching the last tournament fight, facing this guy, this Lucky. I simply destroyed the guy. He had no chance at all because I'm too strong, and practically every hit I land procs this strong poison that takes a lot of his health. It's almost a bleed. It's broken. Killing him, winning 2 rounds, unlocks one more achievement for getting through this tournament. After that, the time came to grind challenge mode. I couldn't use any armor, no helmet, so it was a touch more complicated, but we managed to get through. After a long grind, we reach the last fight of the challenges. Completing it, we get one more achievement. The time has come to face the last bodyguard of Boss Hermit, which is this crane. He doesn't use any weapon, just stays on punches and kicks, so it was pretty easy. Despite him dealing quite a bit of damage, I managed to kill him easily with my weapons. These fans are broken. They simply go and come back and deal crazy damage to the guy. Like that, I managed to win 2 rounds to 0, also unlocking one more trophy for defeating all the bodyguards of this boss. Now yes, Boss Hermit, which is this crazy old man who uses this sword. I already start landing a hit on him, landing these fan slashes to the face, taking all his health. We start proccing this poison that drains all his health. As you can see, our armor has this shield that makes us take way less damage and protects us a lot. Like that, I keep going to the second round. I simply land this huge crit and take all his health. He's left with just a sliver of health. One more hit to the face finished off the old man. In the third round, while I was ending his life, he simply goes into this absurd mode and starts shooting lightning, which is his magic, which is broken. You gotta be careful not to take too many hits, otherwise you lose all your health. Since we're strong, I easily finish him off. Like that, I get the achievement for defeating him. Finally, we defeated this crappy boss, this hermit. We also win this seal that we get after killing all the bosses. It's gonna be useful for something that'll happen in the future. After that, we start Act 3. In this act, as you can see here, there's this different boss, which is this butcher. This guy is impressive because he's got these swords, these cleavers, so you gotta be careful. We're still far from killing him though. Here we level up to level 13, so we're already gonna learn a new skill. I grabbed this pain rage one, which is good. Makes us deal tons of damage. Going to our first fight in this Act 3 tournament, we have this woman with a nunchaku doing the L pose. She starts wailing, no conversation. Right after I manage to dodge and apply a hit that deals tons of damage and knock her to the ground. Like that, she's left with just a sliver of health. At the end, she almost kills me still. Luckily, I managed to hit and kill her. It was close because this woman is strong, and if I slipped up, she was gonna end up killing me. I kept passing all the fights. They were pretty easy. Most of them, I managed to win 2-0. Until we reached facing this guy here, Pickpocket. Right away, I remembered those people in France who keep stealing phones called pickpockets. Gotta stay sharp so I don't get my phone stolen. Already lost a touch more health. It wasn't that easy thing, that perfect, but managed to win pretty smooth. Like that, we level up to level 14. Like I said, we unlock magic. Unfortunately, the only amulet I could buy was this one for 29 gems. Yeah, didn't release any to buy with coins, with money. Do everything possible to make you blow your cash. So I already buy this fireball along with this armor, with this helmet, and this whole weird stuff, this random kit I made there. Like that, we head to the next fight. For the moment, I decided not to buy a new weapon, because this one here has some pretty solid effects. Despite the other being one level higher, I have this poison effect that I decided to keep for now, since the fights are all on easy mode. Like that, I continued the grind of the fights. We even faced this guy, the monkey, and on this woman here, Hellcat. I use magic for the first time, and it takes crazy damage, as you can see. This is broken. After finishing this woman off, the fights started being on impossible difficulty. Yeah, we're gonna have to farm more. Like that, we head to face the first bodyguard of this boss, which is this bird with pink hair. She started giving me the first hits, but as you can see, she's weak, barely took my health. In the second round, I land some hits with my fan and finish with poison. To be able to finish the fights and do that upgrade, I buy this new weapon because mine is level 13, and we already unlocked this one at level 14. Facing the L pose woman again, she simply gives me a beating and finishes me off. This magic is terrifying. I had no chance at all. Lost 2 rounds to 0. This cursed woman got way too strong and there's nothing to do about it. Gonna have to do more upgrades. With me more leveled up, I do our revenge and totally destroy her. Use this fire magic. This fire magic is broken, winning 2 rounds to 0. She learned not to mess with us. It was lots of easy fights because we had tons of coins saved, and I could keep upgrading all the time without worrying, making things way easier. Defeated this staff guy with a machete to the head, which by the way is a strong weapon. Killed this Hellcat with an absurd crit. So I go back to the shop and do that sneaky upgrade on our machete and also on the armor, right? Because we need defense, just attack isn't enough. Then yes, I beat this Lucky, throwing him to the ground. Here we're stopped from continuing the challenge because we don't have all the equipment at level 15, because this crappy long-range weapon only exists at level 16. Unfortunately, they don't have any option at level 15. We continue in tournament mode where we face this exile. This fight, several times I got confused about who was me, because look here, everyone looks the same. He's got the same helmet as me and the same weapon. This fool keeps copying me. In the last round, I was with very few health, almost dying, but I managed to land that absurd combo and finished him off. That comeback was epic, pure cinema. After that, I reached a point where I couldn't advance anymore, because everything was on impossible. Again, that boring part. Farming, farming. I do this duel against the ninja and then go to survival mode. Like that, after some time farming, I decide to test Eclipse mode. After winning this round while disarmed in Eclipse mode, we get an achievement. With all the money saved, I buy these knives and do that upgrade to level 15. We can finally go back to doing the fights in challenge mode, where we face this mountain guy. Well, it was easy. I finish him off using my machete. We level up to level 16, finally. I check out the shop and notice there's this sweet weapon that already comes with enchantment. Unfortunately, I can't buy it because it costs gems and we're broke. I don't have gems. So I buy what's left, which is these claws, which are actually pretty good too. Challenging our next enemy, I have this pickpocket again. In the first round, I ended up slipping, going outside the ring and lost. Yeah, I hate this ring out crap, but what can you do, right? The good side is that the next rounds I managed to win, landing a perfect. Also faced this bull, who's one of the boss's bodyguards, who actually looks more like Blade, just missing a sword to match better. He couldn't tank our claws and was eliminated. I buy these silver shurikens and head straight to the next fight. Defeat this Hellcat one more time. Obviously, again, we find the L-pose woman. Too bad for her, we have these sharp claws and we end her life. Here I reached a moment where I couldn't take it anymore. Everything was on impossible mode, all the fights difficult, I was way too weak. I was gonna have to keep farming for hours and hours. So I simply decided to buy a gem pack. And what an expensive pack. With the gems I got, I bought this Blood Reaper because it's simply one of the best weapons in the game. I was researching on Google like weapon tier lists and stuff, and this one was one of the best. It's like top 2. I think it's only not better than the last weapon in the game. There's the negative part that it costs gems, right? So I'm gonna have to spend a good amount of gems, but it is what it is for today. As you can see here, besides being strong, it has bleed effect. Yeah, one of the best effects in the game. This is literally the most broken weapon I have so far. I'm gonna use it until the end of the game. Just wait and see. It was GG easy, just slashing the face with tons of bleed stacking. Facing the last bodyguard of the boss, we have this guy wanting to copy us, this Reaper, who has the same weapon as us. Here we're gonna see who's the best with the scythe. I start with this absurd scythe spin, dealing crazy damage, and finish the same way. Like that we get this achievement for defeating all the Butcher's bodyguards. We hit level 18. As you can see, to upgrade our weapon, I need to spend gems. Yeah, all the weapons you buy with gems to upgrade also cost gems. Mandatory, can't use coins. This is the worst part, because I'm gonna have to blow all the gems I have. Don't worry, I'm not gonna do this until the end of the game, because if I was gonna do that, I'd go broke, right? Before facing the Butcher, I decide to finish the tournament and do all the challenges. In this, I faced this invisible man, who was supposed to be a hard fight because I couldn't see the guy, right? In the end, it's easy. The main factor for this is because the game simply directs the attacks automatically to the side where the enemy is. If I had to guess which side he's on, then it would be impossible. After finishing everything, first I get an achievement for winning the tournament and another for completing all the challenges. Something incredible happened. As you know, I played that raid mode a lot, which is the multiplayer mode. Since I placed first in the season, which only lasts 3 days, it's a pretty short season. I got a chest that could contain some rare items, and mainly the monkey set. Just so you have an idea, there's a 30% chance of getting some item from the set. 30%. Guess what? Yeah, I got the weapon from the set. Literally one of the most important items. In the end, I didn't even use this weapon. The reason for that is because I didn't have the most powerful enchantment, which is that enchantment from the amazing sets. Because to get this enchantment, I need to have all the items from the set, and I only have the weapon. To get all the rest, I'd have to keep playing this raid mode infinitely until I got lucky enough to get everything. I don't have time for that because I need to post the video. So this item is gonna be our lucky charm. That's it, because I'm not even gonna use this crap. Finally, I face the Butcher boss. I already start grabbing and throwing him to the ground. I even try to dodge after, but he ends up hitting me with his crappy kitchen cleaver. I don't let it slide and already land that epic hit on him. I come back with that wicked spin, landing bleed on the guy's face. To finish, I use this impressive magic. Like that I managed to finish him off and win the first round. In the second, I started well, managed to land that bleed right at the start, but then he does this fat guy jump and almost takes all my health. Luckily, right after I managed to finish him off, otherwise he was gonna do that jump and shake the whole world. In the third round, I didn't do well, ended up dying pretty quick, so let's just skip this and go straight to the fourth. In the fourth, my friend, I destroyed him. Nothing was left for the fat guy. Getting an achievement and completing Act 3, heading to Act 4, which is the Pirate Throne. We level up to level 19, so I already learned this new skill and do all the upgrades, especially our weapon, this Blood Reaper. All the fights are on impossible difficulty. I try anyway, and check out this background, this scenery, beautiful. There's these flowers, this grass, that house at the end, these mountains. This is too beautiful. It's cinema. Thanks to our Blood Reaper, I managed to land this strong bleed. Takes all the guy's health. This is too good. I managed to win the first round, even being on impossible. The guy had no chance. I'm dealing crazy damage. When it said impossible, well, that was probably for the opponent, not for me. The next fight, it didn't go so well. Ended up dying. This woman is strong. Here, it's that time again. Farm and farm. After that farm, I level up our weapon to the max. Facing this pest again, I managed to defeat her. Took a bit of struggle, wasn't easy, but we're dealing crazy damage, so I managed to get through. Defeat this claw guy, then we get this Lily who, not bad at all, am I right? We level up to level 20, and I learn this new skill, which is full power, which is powerful. Already do that upgrade on our weapon that's gonna be even more broken. I go to the first bodyguard of this axe boss. These backgrounds are too cool. This pirate background, that's crazy, awesome. This bodyguard was easy. I'm not even gonna talk much about him because he was a piece of cake. One thing I didn't tell you guys, I bought this great Halloween helmet. It's so awesome. Supreme Aura. Too bad I'm already gonna have to get rid of it because to upgrade it costs 33 gems. I'm not gonna have gems for that, right? Because I still have to spend on my weapon. So I just buy this crappy helmet with coins. Look what's left for me. Continuing the challenges, we have this throat cutter. In the end, what he cut was my weapon. This fool, I was left without a weapon, had to kill on punches. The worst part is, it takes forever to take his health. It takes so long to hit. I ended up dying. F. In the second and third round, there was simply no chance, because with my scythe, I'm unbeatable. Like that, I end their existence and head straight to the shop doing those sneaky upgrades. We face this Vixen. Dang, that's easy. Take this bleed to learn. We also face this Mongol, which when I was playing, I ended up reading wrong. Sorry, YouTube. Don't ban me, please. I just landed this scythe to the guy's head. Must have taken all his hair off. The creature went bald. We go to the next bodyguard here, this shark. I ended up skipping this guy with green bandana, but who cares? He's trash. Nobody cares about him, so let's continue. This shark wasn't easy. The creature is strong. Lost right off the bat. So it's that thing. Farm like a convict because everything is expensive. Look at this. After farming a lot and doing that level up on our weapon and armor, I go back to this crappy shark. I managed to kill her. I already tried to chain with the next bodyguard, which is this old man, this bosun. Well, as you can see, it didn't go so well. Took some hits from him and I died. I decided to go back to the challenges, to the tournament, do that farming, pass those easier fights. I went back to this bosun again. I'm gonna be able to beat him, right? No, I simply got beaten like a fool. I hate this game. This is so hard. Again, I farmed more, went through more challenges, more tournaments. After leveling up one more time our weapon, this Blood Reaper with gems, which is almost running out, already getting broke, so we go back to face this crappy old man. I use this new magic I got, which is cool. Check it out. It's impossible for the guy to dodge. One scythe to the face and I finish off the old man. I kept grinding, farming a lot. In this process, got some achievements. One for disarming the enemy 50 times, losing 200 times. I'm losing way too much in this game. This other one, Lightning Strike, which honestly, I have no idea what it is. I don't remember. I'm looking at the website and the achievements are simply all showing up in Japanese. Programmer, help me out here. After that, I face the next bodyguard of the boss, which is this whaler, who looks a lot like Poseidon. Probably was inspired by him, right? I took that heavy beating. Since I wasn't strong enough, I farmed even more in survival mode. I can't take it anymore. I'm looking like a slave in this game. Every time this crappy survival mode. At least it was rewarding because I got to grab these needles, which are good. Not just that, I finally saved up money to buy this Kusarigama, this weapon there, which is literally the same weapon as the Blood Reaper. The difference is it doesn't have the bleed. The reason for that is because my gems are running out and I'm not gonna have enough gems to keep upgrading this until the end of the game. This is like 52 levels and I'm on level 23. If I upgrade everything, I'm gonna have to spend rivers of money, right? So there's no way. After buying it, I try to do an enchantment. Maybe I'll get lucky and get the bleed, right? But unfortunately, it didn't work out. I got this Frenzy one. It's actually good because it makes me deal more damage, but I prefer the bleed. Anyway, after I farm more, I'll try to change this. Like that, I head to face the Wasp, which is the 4th boss of the game. Right in the first round, this fool disarmed me, leaving me only on punches. It didn't go well. I saw that I was taking too much damage and gave up on this fight. I headed off to finish the tournament. After some fights, I go back again to do the enchantment on the scythe. This time I got lucky and got the bleed, yes! I literally have a copy of the Blood Reaper that doesn't need gems. We're too clever. With that, I face this buff old man. Look at the guy. But despite that, he had no chance against me. I already land the bleed and finish him off, unlocking an achievement for winning this tournament. Again, I go back to try facing the Wasp. The first round I managed to kill her fast thanks to the bleed. With that, we unlock an achievement for winning 100 rounds in less than 10 seconds. Unfortunately, right after that, I lost all the rounds. Yeah, literally all of them. That first one was pure luck. I don't give up and try again. Right at the start, I already managed to apply this nasty bleed, taking a good amount of her health. Right after that, she used this fire magic and finished me off. In the second round, I start applying the bleed again, right? But she gets pissed and throws me to the ground, giving me this absurd crit. Look at my health, took almost everything in one hit. Luckily, I managed to survive by doing this spinning combo, landing lots of bleed. Like that, I finished her. We're tied 1-1. In the third, I did well too, landed tons of absurd combos. But then comes the 4th round, which, well, let's skip this one because I just lost. In the 5th and last, the decisive one, it's tied 2-2. What a tight fight. In this one, I already start doing this epic spin comboing hard, landing bleed, proccing everything. Like that, I literally end all her health. In 8 seconds, I finished her, getting an achievement for defeating this boss. As always, we unlock the next act, Act 5, where we have this new boss who looks impressive, this fan woman. Before finishing the challenges, I decided to do that farming in this survival, because since it just unlocked, it gives tons of gold. After doing all the upgrades on my weapon, I go to do the challenges. Something I think I didn't tell you guys yet, but at the end of all the challenges, we have to face 5 enemies at once. 5 rounds, yes, and with the same health, obviously. Since I had already farmed doing that leveling up, it was pretty easy to get through, unlocking the achievement for completing this challenge. The fights in this act, everything is on impossible difficulty. To help out, I bought this new armor that is pretty ugly. Let's be honest, this is too ugly, but at least the helmet is kind of cool, this snow one. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to upgrade my weapon to level 25, because I'm broke and it costs 350,000 gold. Starting with this Viper who uses the same weapon as me, this scythe. Then I faced the Mongol, which was pretty easy. Finally, this Plague. Well, on the first try I ended up losing to him, got wrecked, but trying again, I managed to win 2 rounds to 0. This time it was a piece of cake. The next one is this Talon. His name reminds me a lot of that league champion, but the appearance has nothing to do with it. He was annoying to kill, it was getting hard. Look, here it wasn't even impossible, it was on insane difficulty, but even so I couldn't do it. So I went to farm more coins in survival mode. I can't take this mode anymore. I kept farming until I managed to level up my weapon. After that, I managed to kill this fool 2 rounds to 0. At least with that, I leveled up to level 26, and also learned this new skill for blocking a long-range hit. It helps a lot because sometimes the guy throws shurikens, and you take 0 damage. 0. This is too good. The first bodyguard we face in this province is this here guy. He uses a trash weapon, check it out, literally a stick, a piece of wood that he uses to hit us. Doesn't come close to my amazing scythe. One thing I liked about this game is these backgrounds that keep getting more and more stunning. This time, it's all snowy. This guy got destroyed by me, there's no way, his weapon is too weak. The next bodyguard is this wolf. In the middle of this grind, all the fights were on impossible difficulty, and I had that huge laziness to farm. This Lord of Darkness pack appeared. This helmet with horns, this armor with cape, especially this weapon, sharp. It was a touch pricey, not gonna lie, but I couldn't resist and ended up buying it. This gave a nice boost, especially against the next bodyguard, which is this Capra. Won 2 rounds to 0. We also killed this bear. This weapon deals crazy damage. I just don't like its moves, like, the way it does the combos is kind of trash. I prefer the scythe. It's dealing crazy damage because its level is higher, so let's keep it for now. The last bodyguard of this boss is this Puma, who also uses our scythe. It seems like every enemy in this game uses a scythe. It's because it's literally the gold standard of weapons, so I decided to switch back to it. Already had been farming for a while, so I leveled it up and used it. It was pretty easy, right? That bleed popping all the time, those great crit hits that this weapon gives, until finally ending this pest and getting an achievement for killing all this boss's bodyguards. Already finished the tournament too, getting 1 more trophy. The challenges I was dying too much, so I ended up leaving for later, because it was hard, I was too weak. I preferred to try to kill the boss first, and then I'll farm a bit more, and then I'll come back here. We head off to face Widow. This pest already disarms me right at the start of the match. Nothing left at all. I didn't give up though. Even being only on punches, I managed to take a lot of her health and even got the aggressive style and won this round. This fight here was too intense, had to use tons of combos. The second was easy because I had my weapon. It was pretty smooth, landed lots of damage, put bleed, easy. Finally, in the third, I almost died, was left with very few health there at the end, but I managed to kill her and got one more achievement for killing 3 demons without losing any round. Yeah, 3 rounds to 0. Another one for killing the boss. Unlocking like that Act 6. Just looking at this next boss, you can already tell he's hard, because the guy is a badass samurai. Before finishing this act though, let's finish the challenges we left behind, which are hard that I have to kill 5 people in a row. This is the worst part of the challenges. Even being a touch stronger, it was hard. Had to try several times, but I managed to get through them, getting one more trophy for finishing all these challenges. Going to Act 7, it already starts right away with one of the boss's bodyguards, which is this corporal. Here the game shows me that it keeps surpassing itself. This background here with everything on fire is simply cinema. Not just the background, because this fight here was also epic. We had that tie, right? 1 round to 1, and we go to the 3rd round to decide who's the best. I was about to die with very few health, literally 1 hit, and I die. I didn't give up though and started comboing him, landing tons of hits. Like that, I managed to turn it around and win the match. To catch a breath, I went to do survival mode, because I'm gonna need tons of coins to be able to do the upgrades. It was even good, because in this process, I got an achievement for finishing 300 rounds with a headshot. I kept advancing in the tournaments and challenges to be able to get a touch stronger, until I managed to face the next bodyguard, which is this captain.
The character designs in this act are too good, way better than before. This katana here too, that's crazy. I'm so strong that he gave me a crit, but it barely took my health. I was left with full health, so I managed to kill him pretty easy. In the second, it was the same thing. He managed to take a touch more health, but in the end, I managed to win. We have 6 million coins, so let's do the upgrade on our weapon to level 33. It's gonna be broken. I keep doing the challenges and having a touch more difficulty because all the fights are on impossible mode and I had that laziness to farm, so I kept insisting on the fights. Some I managed to get through, some I died, but the good thing is that, in the end, I managed to farm some coins even if I passed only a few stages. The next bodyguard I faced was the Major, who was way harder. He always gave me a beating 2-0, so I had to farm a lot to be able to level up. The worst is that there were times when I almost beat him. It was 1-1 tied, and in the 3rd round with just a bit to kill him, a sliver of health, and I ended up dying. This made me pissed. Until, finally, after many attempts, I managed to kill him. At that ending, I almost died. The next bodyguard is this Colonel. As always, the fight against these bodyguards is hard. Lots of attempts, and especially lots of farming, right? Because they're always impossible. So you gotta farm a touch, do some leveling up to have any chance. After some time doing this, I managed to kill him. Despite all that, I still think the Major was harder than this one. Continuing in the challenges, we face this Thief, who, being honest, I thought his design was the worst of all. They probably cut the budget here. He couldn't handle the power of my scythe and succumbed and lost all his health. Easy. After that, I go to duel mode just to do that money farming, right? To get some coins, buy some weapons, some upgrades, because we're getting kinda broke. Despite everything being on impossible difficulty, I don't give up. I head straight to tournament mode facing this Thief again. You guys know, right? This one is trash. Even him being on impossible difficulty, I managed to beat him easily 2 rounds to 0. The guy is too trash. For real. Even with all the advantage, he still loses to me. With the money we farmed, I managed to do that level up on our weapon. I kept alternating between challenges and tournament mode, doing what was easier. Like that, trying to farm money and also leveling up. Until finally, I decided to face the next bodyguard of the boss, which is this general. This was too hard. It even seems like he's a boss, man, I swear to you. He just gives me this sweep and ends all my life. Like that, I die easily. This is 0 chance. I need to get stronger. I'm gonna have to farm in survival. Again, that cursed farming. After that, with the money I bought this armor for 11 million. This spike armor that's strong. Since I'm not stupid, I watched that ad to grab the cash back, right? Even so, I kept getting beat up hard by this bodyguard. This one is one of the hardest fights so far. I had to grind way harder, tackling challenges and tournaments for what felt like an eternity just to max out my armor and boost my weapon power. Finally, I managed to get a decent fight against that absolute trash general. And in the first round, I played so cleanly that I actually snagged an achievement for blocking every single hit in 5 rounds. Round 2 was the same story. he just took a complete beating from me. The lesson here is simple. If you're hitting a wall and constantly losing, stop wasting time. You need to farm your aura and upgrade your gear, and then you can absolutely demolish these clowns. Now, before taking on the last boss, I decided to wrap up the remaining challenges and the tournament. I started with the tournament, grabbing that sweet, sweet trophy. Right after, I cleared the challenges, which were definitely tougher, but totally doable once my gear was up to par. With everything prepped, it was Shogun time. The moment the fight loaded, you could feel the intensity. The entire background was ablaze, and this guy was rocking 3 full health bars. Insanity. I started round 1 pretty well, landing a few hits, but then this samurai jerk turned the tables, spamming sword strikes and absolutely demolishing my health bar. I just threw in the towel and quit. I needed to go back, grind a bit more, and get my armor and weapon powered up again. After a solid farming session, I returned to face the Shogun, determined to get the kill this time. I managed to win the first round, dealing some serious damage, but in the second round, as I was melting his health, this absolute menace of a minion shows up to help him. I was furious. Holy cow, the boss is already hard enough, and now he gets a gank squad after the first round? Seriously, game, come on. But wait, it gets worse. Yeah, after you win the first 2 rounds, minions start showing up every single time. His bodyguards are literally jumping in to save him. The developers really went overboard with this boss. I kept trying, losing multiple times, until I finally managed to nail the timing to dodge and slip past the minions. It was messy, and I still took some hits, but I made it to the end. He was almost dead, 1 breath away from folding. I landed a clean scythe hit to the head, and he finally went down. Victory! We secured the achievement for defeating Shogun. He started rambling about how powerful he was, saying it was impossible for him to be defeated, and honestly, he wasn't wrong. He was legitimately tough. But we won, and we powered up to level 37, unlocking a sick new skill. I fully expected to face Titan, the final boss, next, but instead, the game introduces the Gates of Shadows. I have to fight all the bosses I've beaten so far, one after the other, in a single sequence. When you think the game can't get more ridiculous, it does. On top of that, all the items in the shop are now insanely expensive, like 20 million, 15 million, totally absurd. I immediately choked in the Gates of Shadows and lost to Lynx, the very first boss. So, I went back and farmed like a slave to upgrade my gear further. I returned to the gates, and the added difficulty comes from random challenges and random weapons being forced upon you. If I could just use my scythe, it would be easy, but nope, the game makes it impossible. I kept trying. I finally managed to beat Lynx, then Hermit, beat Butcher, and moved on to Wasp, the one with the lance. I managed to kill her, then came Widow. No chance. She's too fast with that teleporting fan attack. I lost instantly. One more attempt. I cleared Widow, then reached Shogun. And guess what? The challenge was Ring Out, the worst modifier ever. With his minions constantly helping him, and me having a random weapon, everything starts over. I beat all the bosses again and finally made it back to Shogun. This time, I got incredibly lucky. No Ring Out modifier, and I got my scythe. I managed to land a clean scythe hit to his head, killing him and securing the final achievement for this arc. With that, we have this epic cutscene of the game. For real, watch this. Yeah, crap went down, squad. Mei got snatched, which means we're gonna have to save her. After that, I went to level 38, and we have one of the best skills in the entire game, which is this tree that basically does the following. When we're about to die, taking a lethal hit, instead of that, we get revived with 25% health, which is good and is gonna help us a lot. One of the saddest things in the game happens that made me most pissed. It simply tells me to do everything again. All the provinces. From Lynx, we're gonna have to kill all the bosses again. Man, I was thinking I was already gonna finish this game, that I was gonna complete it, that I was already gonna get to the Titan to face him,
and the game simply makes me go through everything again, through all the provinces. This was painful. If you thought it was going to be easy, it's smooth. You have tons of money, you're already strong, have all the weapons leveled up, you're level 38. No, it's not going to be easy. You know why? Because they reset everything in the game. Literally. Like, the coins changed. They're these silver ones now. They reset. There's no more those absurd values of millions of coins. It's just a few coins. So I'm gonna have to keep farming a lot to be able to get through these fights that are on impossible, insane difficulty. If I'm not mistaken, I spent like 3 days just to do this again. 3 days to complete the game again. Makes me want to jump off a bridge. I'm not even joking. I kept doing everything again, killing these crappy creatures, doing these tournaments, these challenges. I also took advantage to do these survival achievements that I hadn't done, which basically, when I survive all the rounds, I get an achievement, and we have to get one for each province. I finish Act 1, which is from these bamboo ones, and we get to Lynx one more time to face him. This time it was pretty easy because we were stronger, despite having that heavy reset on the items. After killing him, we don't get any achievement. No! Because the big truth is that it's not in this part that we get the achievement for killing him again. No, you don't get it here. You get it when you play in Eclipse mode. Yeah, only in Eclipse mode you can get the achievement for killing the bosses again. Let's go to the next province. In Act 2, I kept passing the challenges in tournament mode in that unstoppable grind. The good part here is that at least there are only 8 fights, not 24 like before. If there were 24, it would be torture. I also did that heavy survival mode, completing it and getting the achievement for finishing, which wasn't hard like I said. We're already a touch stronger. I always leave survival mode for when I'm finishing the act. While I was in Act 2 doing the challenges, I simply get the trophy for finishing all the challenges in 6 provinces. This achievement makes no sense, because I was supposed to have gotten it a long time ago, when I finished Act 6 killing the Shogun and doing challenges there, but the trophy decided to show up now, right? So, let's just accept it. Getting to Hermit again, this magic guy, we face him one more time and end his existence. Pretty smooth even. We killed the Butcher, who for me after the Shogun is one of the most impressive bosses of these provinces. That cleaver of his is too cool. Later on we're gonna get all the boss weapons, you guys will see. Getting to Act 4, while I was doing the challenges, I got one more achievement. This time it was for winning a fight only with punches or with long-range weapon. I preferred to use only punches just to make sure, right? You can't use kicks, it's punches only. It was actually pretty easy. I also did the achievement for passing through all survival mode in this act. Getting to Act 5, we faced this fan woman, Widow. She also wasn't hard. Lost a few times, yes, but it was pretty smooth. After killing her, I also did the survival mode for this act. Finally, getting to the last act, Act 6. Here we have some more achievements. First, for finishing all tournament mode in all provinces of this interlude, which was long and boring to do this again. Also, of course, an achievement for finishing all challenges of this interlude. We also get to the Shogun one more time. From this interlude, it's the hardest fight because we have to face all the bodyguards at the same time, because the bodyguards of this guy are broken. The general, this colonel, all these guys, they're broken. I died a few times, it was many attempts, until I got a touch lucky because I was almost dying. Look at how my health was. And I managed to land a big hit on him, killing him. Getting also the achievement for opening the Gates of Shadows one more time. This shroud appears with this scythe, telling us to lower our weapons and follow him because the Titan is waiting for. I ignored his demand and started fighting him, but after landing just a few blows, I saw I was barely scratching his health bar. Meanwhile, he was dishing out massive damage. Just as I was about to be obliterated, a woman swooped in, hitting Shroud with a huge magic blast that instantly dropped him. She warned me that Shroud wouldn't stay down for long and that we needed to run. I immediately followed her into a sort of hidden lair where we met Slyfer, and this unlocked new sections of the map. The new map features the Hideout Tournament, the Factory Survival, and the final boss, Titan, who is still locked for now. When I tried to start the survival mode, Slyfer told me that my old gold was trash. It was basically obsolete currency here. To get the new money, we have to fight these looters. I started demolishing them right away, and one of them looked exactly like Deadpool. Seriously, a literal copy. I managed to survive up to round 5, but when I faced the guy in the final round, I nearly beat him, and I ended up dying. Despite the loss, I earned 26,000 of the new, futuristic-looking coins. I also leveled up my skill tree. The only thing available right now is the Hideout Tournament, so I jumped in. My first opponent was Cygnus, who looks exactly like Wukong, the Monkey King. Despite the cool look, he was weak. I won both rounds easily, barely losing any health. I kept grinding through the tournament, easily beating Aqualis, Hazard, and Tripwire. The difficulty then spiked to insane. so I gave my armor a quick upgrade. Next up was Raptor. I landed an absurd critical hit right at the start, melting his health bar. He didn't stand a chance. In the second round, I finished him with a perfect spinning attack. After that, the enemy started repeating, and I faced Cygnus again. This time, he was too strong, and I lost immediately because the difficulty had scaled to impossible. After a few more tournament battles, slyfer wanted to test us, claiming we weren't strong enough for the fearsome Titan. He challenged us himself. The first round started with him dealing more damage than me, but I managed to string together a few combos. In the second round, I was close to winning, but he began to combo me and took most of my life, winning the round. For the tiebreaker in the third, he simply gave me a devastating critical hit. Look at that damage. It took almost all my health, and I lost by a hair. I immediately challenged him again for a rematch. I lost the first round again. He is seriously powerful, but I didn't let up. I won the second round easily. In the third, I managed to land a brutal strike and stack bleeding, securing the victory and the achievement for defeating slyfer. He then explained that Titan is dangerously powerful and can control minds. He revealed that before Titan arrived, there was an ancient tribe, and only one member survived, hidden away. Slyfer's creation, Kronos, was sent to find him, but the ancient was so powerful, he completely wiped Kronos' memory. So, Kronos is now our best bet to find this ancient. He's hidden in the factory survival mode, and we have to beat all the looters there to reach him. I tried the factory survival, but I kept dying because I was too weak. So, I focused on grinding the tournament fights again. I fully upgraded my weapon and my armor and helmet, and I finished all the available fights in the tournament, getting the corresponding achievement. I reached Kronos, and giving him a scythe strike and stacking the bleeding, I defeated him, unlocking the achievement. May then checked his memory chip and saw that the ancient was hidden within the massive stone grove. We level up to level 47 and learn one more skill. When I was gonna look for the Elder, this shroud appears again, starting Chapter 2 of Act 7. Luckily, the Elder appears to save us. He also says we shouldn't face the Titan because many went to him, saying they were gonna face the Titan, that they were gonna make it, that they were strong and stuff, but in the end, they died. He doesn't want to talk and just leaves. Let's farm a bit more in survival because all the fights are impossible. We have this kind of challenge, which is this stone grove. In these stones, I faced several guys like this Abyss, faced this Aqualis, there was this Golem who's cool, this animation of his at the start is great. Despite that, I managed to kill him pretty easily. There was also this Mephisto, who looks like he uses a chainsaw, this Harpy, even the Invisible Man. Yeah, killed the Invisible Man, which normally isn't hard, but since there's this ring out, it's kinda annoying to do. It started to repeat again. See this Golem, this Mephisto, and so on. In this process, we got an achievement for winning 10 fights nerfed, and by nerfed, I mean without weapons, only punches and kicks. I kept advancing until finally reaching the last fight, which is against this Harpy. Killing her, it still isn't over. Obviously, I was gonna fight him. The guy simply has the best weapon in the game, which is this composite sword. It's excellent because its range is long. Obviously, I died several times. It wasn't easy. This fool is strong. Had to stop and do that boring farming in survival mode that I can't take anymore, repeating this crap several times, until I finally managed to do that level up on my equipment, facing him one more time and managing to win with that spin we always do. Also getting an achievement for defeating this. If you thought it was over, no. There's more stuff for us to do, because simply this incubator tournament appeared. Off we go to the grind one more time, killing this emerald, the garnet, this barrel, getting the achievement for winning this tournament. Finally, the time has come for us to face the shroud. This time, it's for real. Nobody's gonna help us. We have to kill this fool. The good side is he has this heavy weapon, so his attack takes a while to happen, but still, he deals crazy damage. I ended up losing the first round. The second, well, it was the same thing. I don't have enough damage yet. I stopped to do that farming. Here, something happened that got me kinda confused. Actually, I still hadn't finished the challenges from that stone, and after killing all of them, we get an achievement, which is this flashback one. But unfortunately, I forgot to record this part of this achievement and also killing the shroud. So I'll just leave for you guys the screenshot of the achievement, what it is, the description for you to understand. Advancing, something sad simply happens. We go to chapter 3 of this act
act, and it unlocks more stuff to do. 24 more tournament fights, and 24 more challenge fights. These guys have no mercy. Every time I think I'm almost finishing the game, almost getting to the Titan fight, and more tournaments and challenges start appearing. What can you do, right? I'm gonna have to do 100% here for you guys. So off I go to farm and grind more and more. I kept advancing, killing these guys, and all of them look like a lizard. Until finally, I went to face the first bodyguard of the Titan, which is this assassin. But he's not that strong because I managed to win 2 rounds to 0 pretty smooth. The next bodyguard is this master, and he also uses the composite sword. Everyone here uses this sword. I don't have money to buy it because I'm broke, but I showed him that my scythe isn't left behind and managed to win 2 rounds to 1. The next bodyguard is this guru, and he was way harder, especially because of this magic that comes this wave that's hard to dodge. So I ended up losing and had to do some farming to be able to level up. Doing the tournament facing this pandemic, the woman's name is Pandemic. Gotta stay sharp not to catch that COVID. She's a piece of cake. I managed to kill her, getting an achievement for reaching max level 52. Finally. We already learned our last skill, which is from this tree that's at level 9. The sad part about us being at max level is that when the enemies are on impossible difficulty, there won't be anything to do. There's no way to level up more. What's left is to suffer and keep trying until we manage to get through. While I was farming to manage to finish the upgrades on our equipment, I ended up getting an achievement for passing through this survival of the incubator. Also won the tournament of those stones, but the hardest was finishing the challenges. Because in the last challenge, my friend, I had to face all these lizards, and they're annoying to defeat. This was hard. Their name is Scavengers. After many attempts, tons of sacrifice, I finally managed to kill these fools, getting that achievement as always. Now to finish the story, we need to defeat the bodyguards and face the Titan. But if you thought the bodyguards were gonna be easy, you're wrong. Because this Emperor, this guy was hard to kill. Had to try several times, he was on impossible difficulty, and I had everything maxed out already. There was nothing to do. But with many attempts, many deaths, I managed to get through this fool. Something happens that left me shocked. We're gonna have to face none other than Mei. She's being controlled by the Titan, and we're gonna have to fight her. I struggled so hard against this woman. She's simply one of the hardest fights in the game, especially because of this magic she shoots, which is hard to dodge. I was doing well, landing tons of different combos. As you can see, I got the aggressive style, and right after the crazy style, getting that amazing achievement. But unfortunately, it wasn't enough because this fool starts healing herself. Yeah, she heals herself all the time, but I didn't give up, kept persisting. When I was almost killing her, she gives me this hit that was supposed to kill me, but luckily this skill of mine activates. This skill from the tree that revives us. I managed to finish and kill this fool, getting that achievement. She appears saying, "What happened?" That she doesn't understand anything, and we explain that she was controlled by the Titan and stuff. With that, we can finally face the Titan. Check out the size of this guy. He's huge. It's simply hard. He even disarms me, this fool. The worst part, he doesn't have regeneration like Mei, but he has this lifesteal, so he takes our health and still takes the health for himself. It's broken. After a few deaths researching on the internet for better ways to kill him, I found out there's a weapon that's simply broken against this guy, which is Lynx's claws. Yeah, the first boss of the game. To get them, I had to activate Eclipse mode and face all his bodyguards again, and then kill Lynx. Despite us being in Eclipse mode, it was still a touch easy, because he's the first boss and we're way stronger. Winning against him, besides the claws, we get an achievement for beating him again in Eclipse mode. Luckily, they already come at level 52, but still, we need to do the upgrades, so I do that farming in survival. After some time, I do all the upgrades. We're gonna be able to face the Titan one more time. With these claws, it was absurdly easy. I simply keep spamming the basic attack on him, and he can't do anything. Stays stuck in the corner getting beat up. I even got an achievement for doing a 10-hit combo. After that massacre of 2 rounds, he starts activating this shield, and because of this crap, he ends up winning 1 round. But in the next, nothing was left for him, and I managed to defeat this Titan, getting an achievement. They even give me 3 gems for defeating the final boss. I was expecting a bit more, but okay. With this ending, we have this stunning cutscene that simply shows Shadow's face.
We finally get to see who he is. I'm gonna be honest, I thought he was younger, but he has an old man face. With that, Shadow and Mei live happily ever after together. At least I hope so, because at the end, this shadow of his starts escaping and chasing him. This means the story will continue in the next game. We also get this sphere that I have no idea what it's for. I didn't find any use for it. If you thought we completed the game completely and were free, no, there's more stuff to do because we have to get the rest of the achievements and do everything again in Eclipse mode. Kill all the bosses again in this mode. Off I went to grind more and repeat everything. I also took advantage of these fights to get some achievements. Started with this one, Kickmaster, which basically I have to win 20 fights using only kicks. It was a touch annoying because I hate not being able to use my weapons. We also got an achievement for finishing the Act 1 tournament in Eclipse mode. One more for winning 5 fights only on punches or long-range weapons. Here, there were tons of achievements I got. I'm gonna summarize because otherwise it gets too boring, especially with the repetition. I got an achievement for each boss in this mode, for passing through the tournaments and challenges of each act, and also several achievements. Block hits in 25 rounds, block all hits in 100 rounds, win 50 fights only on punches. This one I think was the most annoying achievement of all. I couldn't use weapons and had to stay only on punches for 50 fights. This was unbearable. Killed the Butcher again, disarmed 50 enemies in Eclipse mode, and also completed the 200 disarms in normal mode. A bunch of achievements for making a round last at least 90 seconds, where I had to keep surviving during the whole round. All of Act 5, all of Act 6, all this nonsense you're seeing. After I did the whole game again, including Act 7, we get to Mei, who is literally the hardest fight in the game. Mei in Eclipse mode. This is simply insane. I think it was the hardest thing I've done so far. I spent like 2-3 days only on this fight. I'm not joking, it's for real. It was like 3 days straight playing all day just on this fight. She simply hit me here all the time. Used this magic too that was annoying and impossible to dodge. I had to predict when she was gonna use it, plus the fact that she regenerates all the time. To make it worse, the creature goes invisible. Yeah, she goes invisible. It's insanity that has no limit, man. The only way I found to have any chance of killing her was using this enchantment on the armor and helmet, which is the damage return. I had to count on the luck of this enchantment activating, and she could end up killing herself. Almost all the rounds I won were because of this. There were several times I almost won with her at low health, missing 1 round to win, and I'd go and lose because of her one-hit kill, until finally, after many attempts and a lot of suffering, I got absurdly lucky because it was tied 1-1, and she gave me this hit throwing me to the ground, and applied the damage return enchantment. But I survived and she killed herself. Yeah, I won with her killing herself. Man, this was the biggest stroke of luck I've had in the history of my life. We also got one of the rarest achievements in the game, which is being able to defeat her in Eclipse mode. After that, we went to the Titan. Doesn't compare to Mei because we can use these Lynx claws. He's not that easy, no, because he keeps defending more. He's smarter. He's not as dumb as before, who just stayed in the corner taking basic attacks. He's a touch more intelligent. If you compare to Mei though, this was GG easy. Killing him, we get an achievement for defeating the Titan in Eclipse mode. There's very few left for me to complete. First, I started doing all the survival in Eclipse mode, from Act 1 to Act 7. I also did the survival of Act 3 in normal mode, which I had left behind. There was an achievement I thought was hard to get, which is this one for reaching Fantastic Style. For that, we need to use practically all the moves in the game, within 1 round only. I tried several different weapons, went on punches, on the machete, on that butcher knife, and nothing worked. Until after many attempts with this machete, it was several hours trying, I managed to get this fantastic fighting style. It was pretty annoying to get this, for real. Unfortunately, the rest of the achievements are bugged, except one, which is this one for passing survival in the factory. I already completed the game, so I can't go back because it was replaced by another survival, which is the incubator one, and I can't do this achievement anymore. It's missable. I'd have to complete the whole game again, and I'm not gonna do that right, let's be real. Besides this one, there are 4 more bugged achievements. 3 are for enchanting 1, 5, and 10 items, which I already enchanted more than 11, so I should have already gotten this achievement, but it's bugged. Another for finishing the Sensei's story, but the Sensei's story is only available in the special edition, and I played the free version of the game because I didn't know. I researched several ways to get these achievements. I don't know, using hacks,
modifying the game files, but nothing worked. At least one of them I got, which is this one for passing through survival mode of the factory, which was missable. Unfortunately, the video ends here. The total points for the list of trophies is 124 out of 128. That's it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This was by far the hardest game I've done so far, and the longest. It was over 100 hours of grinding. This was absurd. So I hope you guys drop the like, hype up the video, comment a lot, and subscribe to the channel, of course. I'll leave it here and see you in the next video.